Right now, every headline in Washington is screaming the same two words: income tax. Because on March 30th, the governor signed it, 9.9% on income over $1 million. It's the first income tax Washington has enacted since the 1930s. And back then, the courts threw it out. There's already been a bunch of lawsuits around this. There's a repeal campaign out collecting signatures as we speak. And here's the part nobody says out loud. It hits about 21,000 households, which is less than half of 1% of the state. So while 4 million people are staring at a tax that touches 21,000 of them, the legislature quietly passed 6 housing laws that touch every single piece of property you own or want to own in this state. Apartments, backyard cottages out in the country, renters who can override your lease, condos that just got cheaper to build, and a building code change that everybody, and I mean pretty much everybody, is getting completely wrong. This is the stuff that actually moves your net worth. The income tax fight, that's the magic trick, the look over here while the real money moves over here. I read all 6 bills line by line, and let me show you exactly what changed, who wins, who loses, and what you should do about it before June 11th when most of these go live. My name's Kenan Maurer. I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, and I love to keep the most accurate, up-to-date information on what's going on locally and laws in this area that affect all of my clients, whether they're buying or selling or people that just live here in Washington. So with all of that said, let's get into the rest of this video. So the first law that I want to go over is SB 6026. Now, quick gut check. Seattle's office vacancy right now is 33%. That's the worst in the entire country. It's worse than San Francisco. Downtown proper, 36.5. Not one new office building opened downtown last year. Not one. So here's the question that Olympia just answered. What do you do with millions of square feet of dead commercial space? You let people live on it. SB 6026 says every city and county with more than 30,000 people must allow housing on land that's zoned commercial or mixed use. And here's the big one. They can no longer force you to stick retail on the ground floor. Why does that matter so much? For decades, if you wanted to build apartments on a commercial lot, the city made you wrap the ground floor in retail space that half the time nobody ever leased. Now that one rule killed deal after deal after deal. Now, residential by right, top to bottom, no mandatory empty storefront. How big is this? Sightline ran the numbers for the legislature. Under the old rules, 75% of commercially zoned parcels couldn't actually fit housing. This one bill could increase the land available for multifamily housing by 62% in the cities that it affects. It's modeled on a California law from 2022 signed by Governor Ferguson, live June 11th. Know the exceptions because they matter. It doesn't override the transit density law. We'll get to that. It skips designated business improvement areas, and buildings on the historic register keep their ground floor retail. Investor translation, that tired strip mall, that half-empty office plaza on the arterial, that is not a retail play anymore. That's a residential land play. The value isn't in the building, it's in the dirt and what you're now allowed to stack on top of it. Let's talk about law number 2, HB 1345. For years, ADUs, additional dwelling units, backyard cottages, mother-in-law suites, granny flats, whatever you want to call them, were strictly an in-city thing. Outside the urban growth line, forget it, not allowed. HB 1345 cracks that wide open. Counties can now allow one accessory dwelling unit, attached or detached, on rural parcels outside the urban growth area. Think about what one extra legal dwelling does to a property. That's a rental check every month. That's housing for aging parents or adult kids. That's a second income stream on land that used to be one house and a whole lot of grass. But, and burn this into your brain, the bill is permissive, not mandatory. It lets counties opt in. So your first step has to be, you have to ask, has your county actually adopted it yet? And before you start dreaming, we need to talk about the trap, the DADU warning. This is where the dream quietly dies for a lot of rural owners, and almost nobody warns you about it. In the city, you tap municipal water and sewer and you're done. Out in the country, you've got a well and a septic system, and HB 1345 is loaded with a bunch of rural guardrails. Your lot has to be at least an acre. Non-conforming lots under an acre, you're out. Every dwelling has to be separately metered for water. Your total water draw across the whole parcel can't blow past the state's domestic use limit. And you have to prove your septic system can handle the extra load. A second home means a second household's worth of waste hitting that drain field. So before you fantasize about the rental cottage, get a water rights answer and a septic capacity report, because you can have the zoning and the cash and the contractor lined up and still get stopped cold by a well that legally can't serve 2 homes or a drain field that physically can't take the flow. The size cap lands around 1,300 square feet, and counties enforce this. Fines start around $1,000 if you build without a permit, so make sure you do that right. Law number 3, SB 6200. The Pacific Northwest didn't used to need air conditioning. Then the heat domes came and people died. SB 6200, signed in March, live June 11th, says a landlord generally can't stop a tenant from installing a portable cooling device of their choosing. Window AC, floor units, portable heat pumps, and it covers both regular rentals and mobile home parks. Now, if you're a landlord, listen closely, because lose control is only half the story. What you can no longer do, flat out ban AC, and you cannot charge a fee for it. But here's the guardrails you keep. You can require the tenant give you notice before they install. You can require the unit drain properly so it doesn't rot your building. You can block a window install that needs so much hardware it punctures the wall, or that could fall out and hurt someone. You can require an inspection. You're immune from liability if their unit causes damage or injury, and you're not on the hook if their AC trips the building's electrical. Now, of course, none of this is legal advice or anything like that, so don't come after me, landlords. One thing that this bill does not do, it does not force you to provide air conditioning. A separate bill that would have made cooling a habitability requirement, like heat, died this session, so it did not go into effect. So this is the right to install, not the right to be given. Huge difference for your capital plan. Investor note as well, read the trend line, because this is a first step towards AC becoming standard, then expected, then maybe required. So if you're renovating units, getting ahead of it, efficient cooling as an amenity is a leasing edge, not just a compliance headache. Law number 4 is HB 2304. This one's kind of nerdy. It's also one of the most important bills on this entire list, so stay with me. Quick history. Since 2010, more than 93% of the multifamily units built in Seattle were rentals, not condos, not for sale homes, rentals. Why? One word, liability. Washington's condo law saddles builders with broad implied warranties. Basically, open season for construction defect lawsuits. So builders did the rational thing. They stopped building condos and built apartments instead. And the for sale starter home, the humble condo, basically went extinct. HB 2304, which passed the House 94-0, fully bipartisan, fixes the math. If you build a condo project of 12 units or fewer, 4 stories or less, you can now offer buyers a clean 210 express warranty backed by insurance instead of that open-ended liability. 210 means 1 year on workmanship, 2 years on the systems, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and 10 years on the structure. It's the exact same warranty standard that's made single-family home building work for decades. Now it applies to 4-story stacked condos. So translation here, the liability wall that killed condo construction just got a door cut into it. Expect more small condo buildings, and that is the cheapest path to actually owning in this state. Which brings me to the numbers that matter. Why a condo costs $250,000 to $400,000 less than a house. Let me put real money on the table. A single family house in Seattle proper right now, the median runs anywhere from around $880,000 to over $1 million. King County overall, around $975,000. A condo, the citywide median in Seattle, is sitting around $575,000. And traditional condos, not the shiny new townhome style ones, are closer to $445,000. Now, do the math on that. That's a $300,000 to $400,000 gap. For a first-time home buyer, that's not a preference. That's the entire difference between owning and renting forever. And here's the timing kicker. Condos are in a buyer's window right now. Tech layoffs. Microsoft cut over 3,000 Washington jobs. Amazon cut thousands more, yanked a big chunk of condo buyers out of the market. Condo prices are down double digits year over year. Inventory is up. Units are sitting 50 days instead of selling in a weekend. So you've got HB 2304 working to expand supply over the long run, and a soft condo market handing buyers leverage right now. If home ownership is the goal, this is the segment to be hunting. Law number 5, HB 2228. Okay, this is the one you're gonna watch people get wrong on the internet for probably the next, let's call it 3 years. Let me save you the embarrassment. First, what is a scissor stair? It's 2 staircases interlocked inside one fire-rated shaft, crisscrossing like an X with 2 separate exits. These are pretty common all over Europe and Asia. They let you build slimmer buildings on weird, narrow lots with more light and cross breeze in every single unit, because you're not burning floor space on 2 giant separate stairwells. And Washington just became the first state in the country to move on legalizing them in apartment buildings. That's huge. Here's the myth. People think scissor stairs are legal now, but they're not. So if you read the actual bill, HB 2228 doesn't legalize anything. It orders the State Building Code Council to study it, to pull together a technical group and recommend how scissor stairs could eventually count toward this 2 staircase requirement. And the timeline, the real code change is tied to the next code cycle, which, despite being called the 2027 update, is expected to actually wrap up around 2030. So when somebody tells you Washington legalized scissor stairs, go build, no, Washington ordered a study. The actual permit you could build from is years out. So plan accordingly. Do not draw your plans around a code that doesn't actually exist yet. Now let's talk about HB 1491. HB 1491 already went into effect last July, and it's the most aggressive transit housing law in the country. Here's what it does. Within a half a mile of a rail station, cities have to allow density averaging a floor area ratio of 3.5. Call it roughly 6 stories. It kills off street parking minimums in those station areas, and it dangles a 20-year property tax exemption for projects that hit the affordable housing requirement. Now, here's the punchline and why I framed it the way I did. This is a state law. It overrides your city. If a city drags its feet and refuses to rezone, the State Department of Commerce drops a model ordinance on them that supersedes the local code. Your city council can't quietly block it. The neighborhood meeting can't vote it down. The state already decided. And this is a tectonic shift because for decades, local control, city council, different hearings, those were exactly where dense housing went to die. HB 1491 took that decision out of their hands near transit. So if you own land within a half mile of a rail stop, Seattle, Spokane, Vancouver, anywhere in the Puget Sound area, go look at what you're now allowed to build. Your dirt may have become 6 stories of buildable value. So what does all of this mean for your property? Let me make this as simple as I can. Let's talk about the winners and the losers. I think the winners with all of these new laws are landowners on commercial corridors. SB 6026 turned your retail lot into a housing lot. That's a repricing upwards. Owners near transit, HB 1491 just multiplied what you can build. The half-mile ring around every rail station is some of the most valuable dirt in the entire state right now. Rural owners with the right lot, an acre plus, solid water, healthy septic, HB 1345 just handed you a second income stream. And first-time buyers, HB 2304 plus a soft condo market is the best ownership window we've seen in years. Small condo builders, the liability handcuffs just came off. Now, let's talk about the losers, or at least the people who need to adjust. Office landlords clinging to the old model, 33% vacancy, worst in America, 0 new buildings downtown last year. Tenants are leasing space in Bellevue for nearly $50 a foot while Seattle bleeds out. Convert, reposition, or sit on a depreciating asset. Landlords who liked total control, SB 6200 took away your AC veto. Owners with bad fundamentals, under an acre, marginal septic, contested water rights, the cottage dream stops at the drain field. And anyone building plans around scissor stairs today, that code is years away. Here's exactly what I'd do this week if any of these touch you. 1, pull the zoning on every property you own. Is it commercial or mixed use? SB 6026 may have just changed your highest and best use. Is it within a half mile of rail? HB 1491 just raised your ceiling. 2, if you're rural and dreaming of a cottage, order the water rights check and the septic capacity report before you spend $1 on design and confirm your county actually opted in. 3, if you're a landlord, update your lease and your move-in process for portable AC now before summer on your terms with the inspection and drainage language that keeps you protected. 4, if you want to own, start looking at condos. Today, it's a soft market. The supply fix is coming. Buy the dip before the rules catch up to it. And 5, stop watching the income tax circus. It's loud, it's in court, and it touches 21,000 households. These 6 laws touch every parcel in the state. That's where your attention and your money belong. The rules just changed. Most people won't notice for a year, but you probably already did. If this saved you a bad decision or pointed you at a good one, hit subscribe because this channel is where I break down the moves most people miss. And drop your county in the comments. Tell me what kind of property you own and I'll tell you which of these 6 laws just changed the game for you.